A couple minor skirmishes outside the Portland State University Library as the occupation inside stretches into the third day. Good afternoon. I'm China Green. Portland State once again canceled classes today as protesters continue an encampment inside and outside the campus library. Let's get to Devin Haskins, who has been at PSU all morning. Devin, protesters and PSU both say this was supposed to come to an end overnight.
Yeah, both sides acknowledged that there was an agreement in place, but that fell through. So PSU saying in a letter that they acknowledged there was an agreement and saying as part of that agreement that they had agreed that protesters would leave the library around 1:30 this morning. They also made concessions, some of those concessions including that they wouldn't press charges, and they wouldn't expel or suspend any students involved. The president also saying that around 50 people inside the library left this morning on their own accord. Now, as far as things go for on campus this morning, things pretty peaceful except for two minor skirmishes. One person was pushed down the stairs, the other pushed out of the way. Now, we're unsure what was said that started it all. Around 21,000 students, again without class today, PSU making that decision yesterday evening. And since Monday evening, an unknown number of people have remained in the library, barricading themselves inside. Now, because the campus is closed, that also means student athletes are unable to practice on campus. Today, we saw teams empty out their lockers and head to practices off campus.
It has caused some bumps along the way, but our job is to minimize that and make sure that we're shielding our student athletes from that and giving them the resources to be successful this weekend and next week.
Now, I asked the governor's office if she had any comment about the ongoing occupation. Her communications spokesperson replied back simply saying she's been in contact with the responding authorities. We still haven't heard or seen Portland police here, and it's unsure when or if they will take action to remove these protesters. Back to you.
Our Devin Haskins reporting live. Will continue to follow this story. Meanwhile, protests like the one at PSU are playing out on college campuses around the country. This was a scene last night at City College in Harlem, New York. Officers arrested dozens of protesters who were trying to take over an administrative building on campus. That's according to NYPD. Meanwhile, new video from the University of Arizona shows officers firing tear gas at protesters. So far, 1,200 people have been arrested across the country, and that includes hundreds of students at Columbia University in New York. Columbia's president has now asked the NYPD to remain on campus through graduation. The university is also threatening to expel students who do not cooperate. Now to some of your local headlines this afternoon. An Oregon City couple is facing felony charges connected to the death of their baby. So Blair and Taylor Edwards have been charged with criminal mistreatment and are accused of not getting medical care for their 2-day-old boy who died at their home last June. Court records allege their baby has stopped eating and was suffering from severe jaundice. But instead of getting medical treatment, the couple relied on friends and relatives to pray and anoint the infant. The Clackamas County DA's office says the parents attend the Followers of Christ Church, whose members rely on faith healing over modern medicine and have a history of criminal charges for their children's deaths. Since 2011, Oregon state law has not allowed a spiritual belief defense in these cases, which one expert says is good for prosecutors.
I think they're very glad that exemption is not in play, and it allows them to treat this case as they would treat any other case involving harm to a child.
Court documents show the couple has other children at home and the mother is pregnant. A judge has ordered them to provide medical care for their remaining children as needed. 1,000 Oregonians impacted by the 2020 Labor Day wildfires are suing Pacific Corp in a $30 billion lawsuit. The plaintiffs want up to $5 million each for economic damages and up to $25 million for other impacts like emotional distress. This comes after a jury found Pacific Corp liable for starting some of the Labor Day fires by failing to shut down its power lines. The company said it will appeal that verdict, but so far has paid $750 million to wildfire victims. In Washington, the Department of Transportation is testing a new way to fight graffiti in hard-to-reach places with graffiti battling drones. Yes, you heard that right. The drone pilot program was announced back in March. WashDOT says the drone uses a spray nozzle connected to a paint supply on the ground. A drone operator will then be able to fly the drone as high as the hose will reach, making quick work of covering up some graffiti on tall walls, bridges, and overpasses. Testing started on Monday. Let's take a quick break from your headlines and take a look over the Rose City. It was dry earlier today, but things are going to be changing. Meteorologist Rod Hill, you're talking about wet, and wet.
Yeah, you know, this morning the cameras were fantastic. Pretty much all of them showed sunshine. We had beautiful sunrise colors. The clouds have quickly come in, and we will not be seeing the sun the remainder of the day. It does not appear. The clouds are certainly streaming in off the Pacific, and radar is picking up some traceable amounts of light rain. There's a little touch of light rain between Newport and Tillamook, and even trying to bounce off of the coast range. So don't be surprised if a darkening set of clouds produces a little raindrop out there this afternoon. That's about all it would be. At the coast right now, the clouds are fairly high. That's Chinook Winds Casino Resort Camp in Lincoln City. Dry weather being reported with the clouds, 59. Been a beautiful morning up at Timberline. You can tell there's still some blue sky up top, 35. It's chilly up there. Is the current temperature. And then down in the valley, see, these clouds could absolutely start dropping some little spritzes of light rain. That's the Reserve Vineyards and Golf Club in Aloha. It's 53. And if you check out Persimmon Country Club, another golf course, this one's out in Gresham, sits high up on the hill. Pretty much looks like Washington County. Absolutely the chance of some traceable amounts of light rain. 58, 60 degrees this afternoon. Rain is on target, widespread steady rain for about 8 o'clock or so this evening. And we have more rain, as China mentioned, in my 7-day forecast. Yes, back to you.
Just trying to help you out, Rod Hill. All right, the Drug Enforcement Agency wants to reclassify marijuana as a less dangerous Schedule III controlled substance. Right now, it's a Schedule I drug, right up there with drugs like heroin. KGW's Catherine Cook takes a look at what the change could mean for Oregon.
The U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration is planning to reclassify marijuana as a less dangerous drug. This, according to the Associated Press, which confirmed the news with several federal officials Tuesday. It's a major shift in American drug policy, one Congressman Earl Blumenauer considers a victory in the war against the war on drugs.
Personally, after having helped lead this movement for more than 50 years, today is a highlight.
Blumenauer admits he doesn't know exactly when the change would happen, though he hopes soon. He says right now businesses are bound by federal restrictions around banking access and taxes. They can't write off expenses such as payroll, marketing, or rent, leaving many businesses upside down.
By allowing them to fully deduct their business expenses, this is going to have a profound effect on the economics. It'll make it easier for them to be profitable.
We've been operating as if we were a regularly taxed business and just eating it.
Marissa Rodriguez is COO of Nimble, a wholesale cannabis dealer in Milwaukee. She had mixed emotions around Tuesday's news.
Yay and ugh. It doesn't solve all of our problems. It's a great start.
She thinks of those impacted by the justice system, arrested for simple marijuana possession over the years, something that's been legal in Oregon since 2014. In 2022, President Biden pardoned thousands of Americans convicted of simple marijuana possession under federal law. He pointed to racial disparities when it comes to laws around marijuana.
While white and black and brown people use marijuana at similar rates, black and brown people are arrested, prosecuted, and convicted at disproportionately higher rates.
Rodriguez believes all of it has been pointing to broader federal changes like this one.
I know it's not a done deal, but I'm really hopeful.
And if and when the feds reclassify marijuana, Rodriguez says she and others will be focused on their next business move, exporting products out of state.
It's really important that we're ready for it and that Oregon is in a position to compete because we have the best weed.
Catherine Cook, KGW News.
A quick reminder for you, join us tomorrow for the final debate in the race for Multnomah County District Attorney. This is happening tomorrow night. KGW and the Oregonian will be co-hosting it, and it will air live on KGW tomorrow at 6:30 p.m.